Hello friends! The most widely used versions with a 2-liter gasoline turbo engine. Typical malfunctions: premature stretching of the timing chain and an increase in oil consumption are typical, first of all, for the 2.0 TFSI generation Gen 2. In 2013, the engine was upgraded, generation Gen 3, and the problem of early chain stretch and oil burner was eliminated. It is often possible to get rid of increased oil consumption after replacing the oil separator with a modernized one. Moreover, a faulty oil separator leads to unstable idling and a drop in traction. After 100,000 kilometers, you have to update the ignition coils. Soon, with the advent of cold weather, the engine warm-up slows down in cars with S-tronic. The engine and the robot share the same cooling circuit. The culprit is the box thermostat. Occasionally, it is necessary to repair the turbine, or rather, the actuator. The base 1.4 TFSI appeared in 2014. There are no serious complaints about the engine from the owners of the Audi KU3 yet. There are no complaints about the 2-liter diesel engine either. According to the experience of using the unit in other models of the VAG concern, the first problems occur only after 300,000 kilometers. The 2.0 TDI received a timing belt drive. The regulation prescribes its replacement every 150,000 kilometers. Along with the belt, mechanics are advised to update the pump, which can leak. The base cars with the weaker 2.0 TDI, 140 horsepower, and 1.4 TFSI since 2014 had front-wheel drive and a 6-speed manual gearbox. The 2-liter TFSI and more powerful TDI relied on a 7-band S-tronic robotic gearbox and a quattro all-wheel drive system. For a surcharge, S-tronic was also installed in a pair of 1.4 TSI, but 6-speed. The 7-speed S-tronic is LUK's DQ500 dual-clutch transmission. This version of the robot is considered one of the most successful. However, malfunctions occur, although not too often. In the cars of the first years of production, noise was observed when shifting gears. At first, official services replaced the mechatronics, and then Audi recommended simply updating the box ECU firmware. Sometimes mechatronics required intervention. The S-tronic clutch usually lasts a long time. The robot needs periodic renewal of the working fluid. In the proprietary quattro system, the Haldex electronically controlled multiplate clutch of the 4th generation, and after restyling the 5th generation, plays a decisive role. Sometimes the clutch fails after 150 to 200,000 kilometers. Usually, its performance can be restored after replacing the control valve. The front axle has McPherson struts with forged aluminum wishbones. The rear axle has a 4-link design. The suspension is quite durable. The silent blocks of the front levers wear out after 100 to 120,000 kilometers. The rear silent blocks are usually rented first. Next comes the turn of the thrust bearings. Silent blocks of levers on the rear axle will last at least 120 to 150,000 kilometers. Front and rear shock absorbers depart over 100 to 120,000 kilometers. After 7 to 9 years of operation, a coil of one of the rear springs may break off. The front and rear wheel bearings are replaced as an assembly with the hub. More often, you have to update the rear bearings, usually after 100 to 150,000 kilometers. On pre-styling samples, after 6 to 8 years, micro cracks are found on the headlight glazing. The stove motor may make noise after 100 to 150,000 kilometers. The unit must be dismantled, cleaned of dust, and lubricated. With age, the driver's windshield wiper rod bushing wears out. Repairs are inexpensive and easy. If you know of other model malfunctions, be sure to write about it.